Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Unfiltered commentary. Not your truth, the real truth. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support. Hi, folks. Welcome back. You guys are going to love this one. This is from Just the News. Rand Paul's naughty list exposes federal spending. $52 billion. This is just some of the things that Rand Paul has come up with in the Oversight Committee. $2.4 million for an Arctic dinosaur film. I'm not making that up, by the way. You're going to see. $250 million for border walls in Middle East and Africa. Wait a minute. I thought border walls didn't work. Wait till you see some of this stuff. Some people, especially business people, have probably fallen behind on their state and federal taxes. And believe me, if you have a business and you get behind on your taxes, they will crucify you. They will torture you, and then they will kill you. In that order, I might add. It's amazing to me, and I'm sure there's millions of businesses that have just fallen behind through no fault of their own. When there was a moratorium on rent, that was for residential. There wasn't a moratorium on commercial rent, that's for sure. I know, I ran a business for over 20 years, I know. Let's read on. Senator Rand Paul has created a naughty list to highlight wasteful spending from COVID-19 aid to Afghanistan. And it goes on that he reported $52.5 billion. Now, give you an idea. People have an idea what $1 million is. It's a lot of money, but people have an idea. They can wrap their head around $1 million. Now, if you take $1 million 1,000 times, so that would be giving $1 million to 1,000 people. That's $1 billion. That's just $1 billion. He's pointing out $52.5 billion. I mean, look at this. Look at some of this stuff. Look at just paragraph alone. $2.4 million for an Arctic dinosaur film to nearly $500,000, allocating a study, wait for it, pigeons playing slot machines. I couldn't make that up. I'm not that creative. I love this meme, though. I got a lot of problems with you people, and now you're going to hear about it. First place, Platinum Pig, more than $40 billion in COVID-19 related spending. Most of the pandemic-related waste stems from $36 billion in improper unemployment insurance payments. At least $3 billion was spent on bad loans given by the Small Business Administration. A Baltimore school received $1.27 million in excess COVID relief funds by falsely reporting 140 students who were not actually enrolled. And now we have this genius, the biggest piece of, that's a mayor in the United States, and that's a really high bar, used $25 million in federal pandemic relief funds to pay 3,000 artists to display their works of art, and theoretically even displaying your third grade paintings or dance moves qualify. Unbelievable. You can read, I'm not going to read this whole thing. Almost $88 million was spent on Afghan farm irrigation systems. Less than 3% were used. Let's get down here. We go here. Italian planes that didn't work. Most of the miscellaneous waste stems from international relations and bizarre scientific experiments. Here we go. Congress allocated $250 million to build border walls in the Mideast and North Africa. Wait a minute. I thought that they were racist and immoral and wrong and blah, 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 blah. Unbelievable. $150,000 grant was given for Koreans 15 to 30, which will allow them to come to D.C. to learn about climate change activism. This isn't funny, folks, even though I'm laughing. More than $11 million was used to tell the people of Vietnam to stop burning their trash, Paul writes. You can go through these, but some of these are amazing. It's amazing to me. Paul highlighted some odd experiments. Yeah, here we go. This ought to be good. $2.4 million grant from the National Science Foundation went to inspire future polar scientists through a film about dinosaurs in Antarctica. Yeah, that's a good one. $1.3 million went to study how hearing good or bad news affects your happiness. Well, just ask CNN or MSNBC. They know. Fear makes money. Numerous studies focused on animals, such as $4.5 million was spent seemingly abusing ferrets in laboratories. Here's my personal favorite. $460,000 was given to study pigeons gambling on slot machines. Yeah. I mean, if you're a person right now that's struggling to pay their state and federal taxes, especially live in a high tax state like I live in upstate New York, and you see this, you are really, really, really off, I'll tell you. Other notable miscellaneous items include the fact that the Washington, D.C. metro system was given more than $28,000 to the ride-sharing program Lyft to pick up riders when the metro is closed. Oh, God. You'd almost think the government's annual New Year's resolution is spend more and more money. Well, it is, Paul joked, and then reassured Americans, don't worry, though, we'll continue to fight against government waste. Now, here's the issue. Here is the issue. These spending bills are so huge, as Nancy Pelosi famously said, we have to pass the legislation to find out what's in it. Here's what needs to happen. Senator Paul, I know you have the stones to do it. We can try to find out who put those requests in. I want to know who the asshat in government or in Congress or in the Senate just wanted to put almost $500,000 for testing pigeons on slot machines. Why don't we start there? Why don't we name and shame these people? Because there has to be a record somewhere of who applied for this grant and who okayed it. And if it's somebody in the federal government that is okaying these grants, obviously, they have to be getting kickbacks. There's no way these qualify. And they need to be fired. And if not fired, they need to be shamed. This has to stop. I just recently sold my business, and I am struggling. I had it for over 20 years. After a boycott of the local progressive organizations took its toll year after year after year. And then finally, COVID pretty much ended it. I could have got a lot more from my building and my business than I did, and I couldn't. I found a buyer, and I jumped. I turned 65 last year. What am I going to do? I owe taxes on the sale of the building. Good luck coming up with the money. And then you see something like this. But here's the thing. People act outraged. Yeah, boy, these SOBs, they really suck. Blah, 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 blah. And we have to hold Congress and account for all this stuff. And nothing ever happens. Nothing ever happens. We need to find out who's okaying these grants. We need to find out what elected officials submitted these requests for money in these large bills. And especially when he mentioned the 50-something billion in Afghanistan. That's not even on weapons. What was it? How many? $500 million on irrigation for Afghanistan, and less than 3% of it was used. $300 million on buildings that were never used or deteriorated so badly they had to be destroyed. And they're just printing money like it's water. And meanwhile, they're extracting it from us at record rates. I don't know how I'm going to come up with the money to pay the taxes that I owe on the sale of my building. Who knows? I'll scrape it together somehow. And it will affect my quality of life dramatically. And yet, I see things like this, and it's like I'm screaming at the pouring rain. This is ridiculous, folks. Absolutely ridiculous. And all you Biden voters out there, this is what you voted for. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, you pieces of... Until the next time, goodbye and good luck.